Hey guys, welcome back to Bear Witness. This is Robert Bettis, and today we have a special video for you. We are going to visit one of my newly friends now, and I am very honored to call her one of my friends. And instead of me telling you about what she does, I'm just going to go ahead and let her do all the talking.
Okay. Hi, I'm Michelle Camara. I own Southern Wildlife Rehab. We are a small wildlife facility located in the Alma Heights area. We've taken in about 400 animals this year, and we've done almost 70 educational programs. What we do is we do wildlife rehabilitation and human education. Rehabilitation involves animals that are sick, injured, or orphaned and have to get back out in the wild, and we get them better and get them out there. If they cannot be released, then we keep them for education. And so this is our exam area over here. And this is actually an example of one of our animals that could not be released in the wild. This is a Texas tortoise named Roxy. Somebody abused her by painting her. She actually is just now starting to get her toes in. And she gets tumors and upper respiratory infections. And she has a deformed shell because of the paint that's on her. One of the problems with a Texas tortoise is if you keep them for 48 hours in captivity, they can't be released in the wild. So that's why Roxy is still with us, because though she seems perfectly healthy, we just can't release her. And in her case, she has too many health issues to release anyway. She's also missing her scoot, which is one of their defenses against other tortoises. So they use this to turn over the other tortoises or fight, and she can't even do that. So poor little Roxy stays with us. So what happens is whenever I get an animal in, I'll examine it, and if it needs fluids, I'll give it fluids under the skin. If any type of medications it needs. I'm also able to do surgeries on some of these animals, and I have anesthesia and oxygen and all things like that, so I can do all that type of stuff. I'm trained. If it's something that I require more help with, then I actually have an exotic vet, and I also work with the zoo vet. And they help me with things, particularly the tortoises. The zoo vet is really good with taking care of my reptiles and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and go over to this area. So this is where we prep our food, and we have plenty of food and formulas and all kinds of stuff that we need to take care of our animals. So that's where we store all that stuff. Food prep happens every single day. We feed the bats. They go through about 10,000 mealworms a week, and that requires live mealworms for some of the ones that will eat the live mealworms, and then the others will go into a blender and be made into a pate type dish. It's called Soft Diet, and it's a recipe from Bat World, and it has baby food and vitamins in it, and that's what that is. And so then all our vitamins and stuff are in here, so that we're able to give whatever requirement is needed for whatever species is here. So that's the nice part. We have incubators. So whenever animals need to get warmed up, we have heating pads and things like that. This section here is the rehab section. So this is our bat flight cage. This is where I'm the one that specializes in bats in San Antonio. I cover all the way Laredo to Corpus Christi and down into the valley. There's plenty of bat rehabbers up north, but we don't have any down here. I do have a really good bat rehabber in training in Corpus right now, so I'm happy about that. So we'll go into the bat flight cage here. And what we have are, and make sure there's no bats when you walk in, and make sure there's none on the floor. Thank you. And so then we have their living quarters. During the day they get extra bugs just in case they want a snack, but generally they eat first thing in the morning and in the evening. So our bats are all hand fed twice a day. And then we've got some more bats here. This is a quarantine area. So when bats come into rehab and they can't fly or they need to be quarantined, we have 3 chambers here that we can put them in, but they can still talk to the other bats that are hanging around on the outside. So we have evening bats and free tails.
That is awesome.
And then there's actually a nice yellow bat somewhere here. Here he is. So this is Bert. So these bats that are in here are all surrogates. They can't be released. Oh, there you go, buddy. For whatever reason, Bert is flighted, but he's our only yellow, and we keep him as a surrogate because he was an orphan from a large group, and we just decided he's staying to help us as a surrogate.
That is so cool. What's the lifespan on bats?
Okay, so it depends on the species.
Okay.
So Bert is a tree bat. He's a yellow bat, and they live 8 to 10 years. Evening bats, same thing, 8 to 10 years. They think. The freetails, they live like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And there's also, I think, I want to say maybe it's 4 to 8 years on some of the tree bats. It depends on the species. Nobody really knows about the tree bats because, I don't know why. Oh, he just peed down my leg. My leg. Thank you, Bert. So you managed to get that on the other side of my arm. So, but these ones like to live in palm trees, so that's where they like to live. And then we actually can hang him, and he'll have snack. So, and there's some kids in here.
That's so cool.
There is a freetail I've seen flying. I don't know who it is though. But none of these guys want to fly. But freetails are freeloaders, but some of them have severe injuries and they can't fly. Oh, see, that's Eugene right there. He thinks it's time to eat now. It's not time to eat yet, buddy. Almost.
That is so cool.
So the freetails are really smart. They come to their names. So that's Eugene, and then there's Bulma and Flynn. Although there's lots of other freetails in here, those are the only ones we've named. And then, well, Bert doesn't come to his name. He's a tree bat. Tree bats are kind of like the cavemen of the bat world. Yeah, the freetails are really smart. They have a social structure. The males live separate from the females and things like that. So, yeah, so the freetails are really, really smart. And are really easy to get them to do things. And the males live separate from the females. Like Bracken Cave is a maternal colony, a maternity colony. It's all females. Under the bridge by Newell and Pearl Brewery.
Okay.
It's not, Pearl Brewery. There's a bachelor colony of 60,000.
Wow.
Yeah, every August there's a Bat Loco, which
that is so cool.
Which I'm at because I'm the only bat we ever had. So we set up a portable bat cave and have a booth. Everybody's got booths there to do bat related, but. Me and Bat Conservation International really are the only ones that should be there.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah. So here we are in Southern Wildlife Rehab's education part. This is the skunk corral. So we've got about 6 skunks in here right now. Only 2 are decented. The other 4 I can count are not. The reason being is I don't like to descent them because that's kind of like declawing a cat, and there's no point in me using an animal that's been decented for education because what are you going to learn from that? So I like to take my fully loaded skunks into schools and make everybody scream in terror, and it works out really nicely because they do learn how to respect the wildlife better that way. My skunks have never sprayed. There's no reason for them to spray. They only spray if they're in fear of their lives. This little guy right here is a reptile rescue from Arlington, Texas. He's a Grand Cayman blue iguana. He's got some serious tail damage going on. So what happens is once the tail has been broken off, it never grows back like it should. 750 of those left in the wild. So the pet trade seems to be the only place that has those. So it's really nice to teach him about endangered species. So that's why we're really happy about having him. So we actually have an example of that.
That is awesome.
He's a beauty.
He's gorgeous.
I like arachnids. Whenever I do education with high-risk juveniles, they tend to try to act like they don't need to learn this stuff, that they know better. So I use this, this animal as an icebreaker actually. This is my favorite animal to use as an icebreaker. This is a vinegaroon. So this is a whip scorpion.
That is
It's actually quite gentle, even though it looks like an awful looking animal. If I get the kids to accept an ugly animal, then the rest is easy.
For sure.
And so this is why I use this one as the icebreaker. Her defense is to throw vinegar with her tail. These claws up
Really?
front are just for putting food in her mouth and for digging. That's just like little hands up here.
Wow.
And then these are feelers to feel me. So she's actually quite gentle.
That is awesome.
So once the kids get over this,
Everything else is simple.
yeah, and I have a psychology degree, so I've actually kind of know how to wrangle people.
Yeah. That is so cool.
Yeah, she is. And then here we got more education animals. This is Ali. He's got cerebellum damage. He's a Mexican fox squirrel. Mexican fox squirrels are not indigenous to Texas. They're only indigenous to the southernmost part of Arizona, and that is it. So you technically don't even need a permit for these guys, but I have one. So Ali fell. He got mauled by dogs. He's missing part of his tail, and then somebody tried to keep him as a pet, and by the time I got him, he was on death's door. And actually kind of surprised that he made it, and he's been with us 4 years now. So, and their lifespan's about 7 years. And then we've got our little other arachnids, our little tarantulas and stuff like that. So this is a Honduras curly hair. Come on, sweetheart. There we go. She's real sweet. Just like a fuzzy hamster. And then we've got a Brazilian silk, and then I don't know if you can get the light in this one. Or get open. That's Elvira. She's a bird-eating tarantula. She's a baby. She's about 5. So she should get about 13 inches.
Wow.
Really nice animal. And then what happens is sometimes people call it for wildlife, and it turns out it's a pet, just like these tarantulas. And this is a baby sulcata.
That is so cool.
And everybody's brewmating right now, even though it's warm enough in here. It's just that time of year for brumation, which is not really hibernation, but it's like the version of hibernation for reptiles.
Wow.
And then possum. We've got Littlefoot. She goes again.
Yeah.
So this is Littlefoot.
Hi.
So Littlefoot came in with her sister, and she was actually the strangest possum I've ever met, because every time we opened the door, she would crawl up on us. And no matter where she was, she would wake up and crawl up on us, which is very unusual behavior for a possum. What happened was then her sister attacked her and bit the end of her tail off.
Oh,
So then we
wow.
went ahead and pulled her. We had a vet that was volunteering at that time, and she suggested we keep her for education. And it was the best decision we made, because she is really sweet. We don't know why her personality is like this. We don't think she has health issues, but everything seems to be okay. We don't know why she acts like this. So, but she's extremely gentle. So Littlefoot and the skunks, and mainly Littlefoot and the skunks, they've met about 50,000 people this year, because we did a folk life festival, and we do a lot of distance learning. We've done a lot of large events with thousands of people. So they've met a lot of people.
That is awesome. Can I hold her really
Sure.
fast? Come here. Hi. So, if y'all don't know what a possum feels like, it's hard to explain. It's like a small dog, but with like longer fur, or like a longer hair instead of
it's
fur.
more like a dog, yeah, as opposed to a cat. It depends on the possum though too. She's kind of wiry.
Come here. You want to go back to Mama? There we go. What's
What are you
wrong?
doing? I think she wants to crawl on your back.
You want to crawl on my back? Okay. You crawl on my back. What's wrong?
See, she's got one white foot. That's why she's Littlefoot. She's got one little white foot. What you doing, little girl?
Are you having fun? Thank you so much. Hi. Did you have fun? That was awesome, wasn't it? All the different animals we saw, the possum that got to crawl around me, all the different facts in her facility that she has. And she is one of the most heartwarming and most dedicated person that I have met coming to animal rehab areas. Like, I have seen a lot of rehab areas, and hers by far is run with love and care and just downright devotion to every animal she has. Stay tuned for more videos and for other areas that we're going to film. I'm Robert Bettis. This is Bear Witness. Have a great day. Bye.